Would it be easier for them if I wasn't a champion? Yes.
What's up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here, and you know who this is. He is the former UFC middleweight champion and #1 contender. He fights Paulo Costa in the co-main event of UFC 302 on Saturday. A man of very few words, the silent type, really. Sean Strickland, how's it going, man?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever called silent type. Maybe they would be better. I'm ready for you to ask me some fucking scenario.
Yes.
What crazy scenario do you have cocked up that I'm going to try to answer? And
So many. I have a whole segment built around it, Sean, so I'm glad we're already on the same page, but we'll save it for
Well, with fighting, it's always like, you ready? What's your game plan? When do you think the fight's going to end? How do you think it's going to fucking end? Well, let me tell you again for the millionth time. And also, too, you think if I knew I'd be fighting, I'd go have somebody bet on me and I'd be loaded.
Hey, I'd like to inform you that you and your unique use of the English language got my last interview with you demonetized and suppressed. I will never tell you what to say, but if you care about me at all, Sean,
edit and
I'm gonna have to edit this a lot. I think is the lesson I learned.
I just did an interview with Nina, and she's like, "Yeah, like none of this can be used." Yeah. Well, here's the thing, man. Don't ask me crazy shit.
I feel like you have a knack of turning anything into any topic into like a profanity laced.
I know it is, dude. It's just like life is so like MMA is boring. MMA is fucking boring. Life is interesting. You want to talk about Trump paying off a hooker? Like, that's funny. That's interesting. You want to talk about me punching a Brazilian in the face? That's just fucking Tuesday and Thursday for me.
Hey, were you offered that Khamzat Chimaev fight in Saudi Arabia, and why did you not go?
No, I wouldn't go to Saudi Arabia.
That's just off the table.
Hang out with a bunch of burkas. I'm good, man.
Yeah. If Whitaker, I'm trying to get you to the MMA questions quickly, so we can get to the stuff you like, Sean.
Do you like Saudi Arabia?
I can't say I've been. Can't say I'm planning on going anytime soon.
Yeah, something about burkas and no bikinis and shit doesn't sound like my place.
Hey, I know the UFC middleweight title fight is a primary objective for you here. Dana did say that Whitaker-Chimaev fight is a title eliminator. Do you think you stick it out, or do you just take another fight if they don't give you the shot next?
Maybe I'll stick it out. Who knows? It depends if I want to buy something cool or not,
I know Eric is interested. He says we're down to go to Australia as a backup fighter if they do make Dricus Izzy. Are you interested in making the trip to Australia, not knowing if you'll actually fight after going through the weight cut and everything?
Yeah, no, yeah, why not? I'll do it. Actually, no, it depends. I mean, I'm not going to cut weight for like 20K, so maybe.
I almost hesitate.
I'm always in shape. I'm always in shape, but like, go sit in a sauna for 5 hours for 20K. That.
So I almost hesitate to ask, but I think Nina uploaded a video of you tossing a bottle of urine out of the car window. Did you take a leak in the car in front of everyone?
Well, first of all, I was driving. I let everybody know that my dick was out and to look away. So yes, no one's seen. It's small, but anyway, you gotta look really hard, dude. You gotta look really hard.
Was like pulling off to the corner and finding a bush out of the question? Was this not?
Well, it's more of like, one, we're on a highway, and like, don't act like you don't piss in a bottle, dude. I mean, you might. I mean, you're probably used to sitting down while you piss, so it'd be good for you.
This is true. It might be very convenient for me. I'll take some tips. All right, I noted for next time.
Yeah. Every man is pissed in a bottle while driving.
This is true. I can attest to that. Your relationship with the UFC title is really interesting to me because I feel like at times you really seem to prioritize the idea in interviews, and other times like, I don't really care. And I really like the quote you gave at Media Day about how your sort of self-validation was tied so much to the letters UFC prior to your motorcycle accident, and how during that time dealing with the recovery, you kind of just figured out like this isn't the end all be all. But
I mean, that's what like society does. Like, they have you pursue something that you think you want just to realize like, oh, that's not really what makes you happy. I always use like Andrew Tate and even like that Dan Brazilian guy, like, because they are like influencers in the world, and like generally, if you idolize people like this, you're just gonna end up like miserable and depressed, and that's kind of like how it was with UFC. Like I idolized the idea of being a camera, being a fighter. Like it was my pride. I wanted to be famous. And then you start realizing, man, like that doesn't make you happy. It's like what makes you happy is generally doing the right things, like being good to your woman, living a good life, not being a shitbag. And these are all very difficult things to accomplish. But like generally it's leads to like more of a long-term happiness and more success.
So what would you say is the number one reason you want to fight for the UFC middleweight title again at this stage?
I mean, I like money. I mean, why do you wake up? Why are you doing this interview?
Well, to be fair, I could probably do some more lucrative things with my life, but this is the right balance of like, and amusing myself day to day and making money. So it's
Yeah, I do, but it's like that's kind of what it is. Like I like fighting, but I like money, so it's a good balance. What do you mean? Welcome to Walmart, paper, plastic. No, they don't do paper at the Walmart anymore. So I guess plastic only.
they've
I see your receipt. I
they've
see your receipt. Yeah.
the one that gets me is Costco because they always like look up and down the receipt before like highlighting it. I'm like, you're not looking at anything. Just
Every time I go into a Costco, I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna save all the fucking money. But then I look at the lines and I'm like, this. Go to Walmart. I'm gonna self check. I'm gonna skip a couple items so you get a discount. Nah.
You preach.
I don't steal from Walmart. You need to stop doing that too. By the way, you assholes. I'm so sick of everything locked up.
We should try and get you a brand, like some sort of brand deal with them. Maybe they'll let you
Come on,
talk more easily. You preach violence a lot heading into the fight, but there is this, I guess, criticism that for someone who indulges in violence so much, you actually have a very defensively oriented style. How do you feel about people who say, he's more talk than he is game on fight night?
Well, here's the thing, you guys. My brain is fully intact. Look at Gaethje. Look at all these guys. Yeah. You, man, I'm gonna be rich when I'm done with this, and my brain is gonna be great. So, yeah, I'll leave that to Gaethje, dude. You have all the wars you want. I'm good, man.
Why are you so afraid of holding Chris Curtis's baby?
Oh man, I don't know, kids and babies and shit. Maybe it's my own baby. I might hold it when it turns like 6 months or so. Once it's not breakable, but just like small and weak, it makes you feel very uncomfortable.
That's fair. Have you? Are you going? Like, is that somewhere we can get with Sean Strickland? Will he ever hold the child?
No, man, I don't know, man. Maybe it was my own kid, but like someone else's kid. Well, it's actually funny. I went to Nitro Cross, and I'm just, I talk to the fans. They're all good people, good rednecks. They all love guns and freedom. And somebody handed me the like, Sean, hold my baby, and it was more of like I had to hold the baby. Like it was handed to me where like the baby's gonna drop if I don't hold it. So I'm sitting there having like a little panic attack inside, like waving my hand, holding the baby. So I guess you just gotta toss it to me.
Out of curiosity, what do you think? I know for a long time MMA was like the outlet for you. When retirement comes in the distant future, whenever that is, what do you think is going to be like Sean's way of getting out whatever energy he needs to get?
It is, dude. I think I got to get out of society. I mean, Dana White, nail on the head. Sean doesn't work well with people. Every time I find myself like around people too much, I start like, it's like the odds of being in a car accident just keep increasing the more you drive. So I understand that my odds are high, so I just limit myself. I don't know, man. I'll go find a pretty mountain, a little small country town. Everybody speaks English. Be nice.
Yeah, as an introvert, actually, I don't know. I don't know that like my outlet is quite as violent, but I understand the need to get the hell away from everyone on a regular basis.
Well, it's the problem with society, man. It's like there's too many of us. We all hate each other,
especially when you're living in a big city. Okay, I do want to address this one thing before we start wrapping up on some light stuff. I talked to Coach Nick Sick about this. He said he doesn't really buy into it. I don't even know that it's real, but there's this one narrative I've kind of been hearing among fans and media that for as pro-speech as Dana White is, the UFC doesn't actually want Sean Strickland as champion because it's too much of a liability. Do you feel like there's any truth to that?
Of course, bro. Of course. But it's not one of those things where like but you got to unpack that. Would it be easier for them if I wasn't a champion? Yes. But does that mean they are not pro speech? No. So it's one of those things where it's like, it would be easier if we all, if we all had a car that goes 80 miles per hour, but we're still going to make cars that go 160 and allow them. So it's like, yeah, of course, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him saying, hey, you know what? When we got Bud Light and some beer and shit, I don't necessarily think Sean is the best look for our sponsors, but there's nothing wrong with that. But in all fairness, they do have me fight. They do put me in press conferences. They haven't hindered me. So, it's a double-edged sword. They hate it, but then they also accept it.
That's actually a very balanced, nuanced take. I like it, Sean.
But, I mean, if you had a business and, every time like you had somebody representing your business, he opens his mouth up and you got to go talk to a company that just gave you $100 million. Like, sorry, man. He's
Are you going to get that hair transplant that Eric Nixick is putting all his fighters on?
No, man, I can't. I don't get that shit. Would you get one?
You know what? I'm balding from the back a little, so it's fine for on camera, but I don't know. We'll see how bad it gets.
You know what it is? Just embrace being a fucking human, dude. Like, you're going to get old. How old are you?
Oh, 28.
Yeah, dude, you're going to get old. You're going to get fat. Your dick's going to stop working at some point. It's like, just accept it, bro. Like, you are a human. You are going to die.
Yes. I rock the eye bags very proudly. So that's.
And bro, you got a wedding ring? You got a husband?
Yeah. Proudly married to my wife, but however you want to interpret that is okay.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You're married, bro. Why does it matter, bro? Get fat, unless your dick don't work, go bald. Like, it'll be fine, dude.
Thank you for that.
That's the problem with life, dude. People start getting married, so then they accept being fat and old. Everybody wants to live like they're 18. Like, calm down, dude. Being old is fun.
Well, thank you for the relationship advice. Yeah, everything's. I'm content. I'm content with the pace of life so far. Last
but
one before we finish.
Can't let your woman get fat though. Double standards.
Noted. Shout out to the double standards. Last one before we finish up on the segment I'm most excited about. Fan question. On Embedded, you said that each sparring partner is a unique puzzle, and the faster you figure out, the better you do. Which partner took the longest, or you had the most trouble figuring out while sparring?
My two hardest sparring partners were Saudi Sai from PFL. He's just fucking fast and difficult. And then Johnny Eblum from Bellator. Yeah. He's actually, me and this man's like a chess match. When we spar, we'll be like, oh, I hit him one time in a round. I won that round just because we're so calculated. So Johnny Eblum and Saudi Sai are probably my two best and hardest sparring partners.
Okay. To finish up here, you did somehow predict it off the top. I got a game here. It's called Manly or Not Manly. The way this is going to work is I'm going to present a series of short scenarios. We don't need totality. If you think it's like 51% manly, 49% non-manly, that's a pass. That's a manly.
I call it gay. We call it the gay game, but all right.
Again, you're going to make my life harder with the editing, but that's not up to me, Sean. Ready?
Just beep, 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 dude. You got to have a little packy kid doing it. Go hire a little Indian for like 2 cents a day. They'll do it for you.
All right, noted. I'll be on the lookout for it. Okay, manly or not manly? He chops wood with an axe, but also knits sweaters.
I've knitted before just to prove a point. It was easy. So, it was a show my grandma. She was in town some years ago, and she was like knitting, and like she was telling me how hard it was, or like my mom, and like, no, I could do this. And I watched a YouTube video. I started knitting. She said, "Shame my grandma." Like, and then I like had this moment where, like, dude, you're a piece of shit, Sean. Like, go apologize to your grandma.
Okay, so we'll call it manly then. He exclusively dates supermodels, but still collects Pokemon cards.
I think dating supermodels, like, if that's like, that's kind of gay. Pokemon card, definitely. I think they're both gay.
All right, not manly. I'm gonna get some hate for this. He's undefeated in street fights, but tears up watching Disney movies.
Man, I'll cry in a Disney movie. Before Disney became woke, before Disney ruined it. Like, Disney used to be a family institution, might be a little Nazi-ish, but we all ignored that for the great meanings behind the movies. And now it's just like the wokeness, dude. Every time you watch a Disney movie, it's like, what message are you trying to indoctrinate our kids? Terrible. They ruined Buzz Lightyear.
I don't know why I thought, I probably have 10 to 15 minutes with Sean. This is going to be like a one-word answer game and we'll get through it. I knew in the back of my head that that wasn't the reality, but for some reason I try to convince myself we could do it,
Yeah, it's hard, man. These questions are complicated.
That's good. This is true. All right. He's a UFC champion, but paints his hair rainbow.
Oh, yeah, dude. And he also lets guys fuck his wife. Or is letting someone have sex with his wife, is that masculine?
That wasn't technically the prompt. That wasn't technically the prompt, Sean, but to your point.
Are you a fan of that, though? Is that good?
Can't say I've experienced it. Can't say I plan to.
But what do you think about people do if you have your buddy like comes up to you and is like, hey man, like, I pawned off my girl to my best friend. They're having a good time. We're just hanging out. You want to have a beer?
I mean, that sounds a little sex trafficky the way you framed it, so probably no. But
no. Hey, don't call Sean O'Malley a sex trafficker.
No, I didn't say that. All right, ready for this last one?
I got you.
Okay. He was flipped off while driving, but didn't get mad because the new puppy he's teaching to swim is too damn cute.
I mean, phrase like that, yeah. I don't know, man. Dogs are pretty nice, There's times where I want to murder someone, and a part of my voice is like, Sean, you should go pet your dog, dude. Don't murder that man. Don't ruin your life. Don't overreact. No, the voice is in the head, dude. The voice is in the head. They always get the better of me.
Right. Until you got the puppy. What's its name?
Harley. Little German Shepherd.
Okay. Well, shout out to Harley.
Yeah,
Sean,
I know the worst thing is my girlfriend's like, what do you like the most about him? I'm like, well, he's a really sweet dog. She goes, well, what do you don't like? What don't you like about him? Well, he's a very sweet dog, double-edged sword, sweet dog, but also got to start tie some barbed wire, tie him in the backyard for a little bit, hit him, don't give him water for a couple of days, make him tough.
Sean, I know you'll probably be busy that week, but I will be hopefully in Vegas for International Fight Week. Could we do a longer interview in person so I can actually get those questions?
Talk about O'Malley sharing his life.
We'll figure. Yeah. We can dissect it. He'll probably be in town. We can get him on, get his whole take.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun. I actually don't mind that.
I'll call Sean on Sean, okay? Just to make it even more questionable.
Don't get his girlfriend excited.
All right, Sean, I want to leave you with the last word very quickly on my end, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thumbs up, tap the bell, comment. I don't even know what I want to ask the fans this week, but I'm sure you have plenty of reaction to this interview ahead of your fight against Paulo Costa at UFC 302. Mr. Strickland, if there's anything you want to tell the people, the floor is yours, man.
Man, I appreciate you guys, man. As always, thank you for your support. Love me, hate me. I'm getting paid either way. Let's have a good one.